I don't even think the music's going to play. I will do that. But if I think because when I play through StreamYard, guys, videos don't play. But let's get into it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions Altcoin live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri. If you want to have some real good time when Bitcoin is pumping, let me just bring my screen into better focus. There we are. When Bitcoin is absolutely pumping, this is the song you need to listen to. Bitcoin Will Be Pumped by Ivan on Tech. If you check it out, he was one of the guys I used to watch a lot of in the previous bull market. Doesn't make as much content these days, but yeah, he's good to check out. All right, so what altcoins should I buy? This is a question that right now is quite important to understand because Bitcoin dominance is absolutely blowing up. So we've gone from 47% about 2 weeks ago to currently now sitting at 51%. All right, so we've gone up a fair bit. We've gone up a fair bit, and Bitcoin doesn't look like it's going to stop. Right, so most altcoins are either going to be going sideways or a little bit up from here because Bitcoin's going up. It's going to bring the market with it, but the returns in altcoins are going to be less than Bitcoin, majority. So the purpose of today's stream is to try and find the minority of altcoins that will perform or outperform as Bitcoin takes its run. So we need to do some comparatives on TradingView, and we need to look at the altcoin to the Bitcoin pair. Okay, so we're not comparing the altcoin to the USDT pair, which is the actual stable price. We want to look at which ones will outperform the Bitcoin returns. So I have looked at a couple this morning. The only one that looks possibly promising at the moment was Cardano. But what I'm going to look at now is going to show you what we need to look for in order to see if one of these altcoins. And we're just going to go down the list of the blue chips today because there's a lot more liquidity. So I want you guys to be playing it safe and not playing it speculatively. So we're going to look at a few. So I just looked at Tron. Tron looked horrible. I think I was in the process of looking at Litecoin. So LTC BTC is how you look to see if Litecoin will outperform Bitcoin. And we've got a little bit of a bounce here, which is not too bad. Now, how long can this bounce go for, and is it a really good bounce? So basically, if I go to the weekly scale, okay, the stochastic RSI is pointing down. We did get a regular bullish divergence, which seems to have played out, but now we possibly could also be getting another bullish divergence. So we want to see on the lower time frames how things are looking. So we can see the stochastic is pointing up, not with a whole lot of grit though. And we did get a bullish divergence on market cipher B, which is great. We didn't get it on the RSI, okay, the divergence RSI. There was no bullish divergence, but this is a pretty good bounce. Now, let's just say right now, I think the max we can probably get out of this is to the value area low. So you could see Litecoin outperform Bitcoin by at least 4% in the short term. Okay, in the short term, we're just talking about short term here. Okay, we're not talking about long term. So Litecoin is probably one of the altcoins in the next little while that can outperform Bitcoin. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, okay. So on the 4 hour, we got two drives of bullish divergence. Looks like we've got a third right here. We've made a lower low, and then this is why it's good to look at these, because if you're wanting to train short-term time frames right now, there are some opportunities in altcoins, because as I mentioned, not all alts are going to do nothing, but we want to see which ones are going to outperform Bitcoin. Because if they're not going to outperform Bitcoin, just park your money in Bitcoin, right? Not financial advice, but it's the hardest and strongest asset. So why not keep it there? So it looks like Bitcoin might be going sideways and down for a little bit. So maybe a little bit of liquidity from Bitcoin is going to bleed into the alts, and people are getting their alts positions because they might think the alt pump is going to be coming soon. So Litecoin is one definitely to look out for. Let's look at Polygon next. Okay, so we'll go MATIC to BTC. Alrighty, so on the 4 hour, the money flow is moving to the upside. We have had lower lows, so things aren't looking great. But let's just go on a high time frame. Let's see if we can get any trend lines. So we don't have anything substantial to really look at. Let's quickly see if this line, nothing comes of age here. Okay, that's a trend line you want to keep an eye on. So let's just say a Polygon goes sideways here for the next little bit, and we're on the 10-hour time frame. So you're looking, if I get the calculator out, we're looking at maybe another worst case 2 to 3 days. We could see it break back into this upper range. You could draw a little bit of a fan, even a Garn fan of some sort. And we might, if we break back through that, we could get something back up to that top trend line, 40%. And that would also line up with the value area low here. So could MATIC do okay? So far, okay. That 10-hour didn't look good, actually, on Market Cipher. So on the daily, we've got the stochastic pointing up. We've got the Market Cipher having a green dot. We're in heavy red money flow, so it's not great, to be honest. And look, the stochastic is quite low with MATIC, so it should be quite close to the end of its bleeding against Bitcoin. But then again, if Bitcoin keeps going on a tear, we might be here for a while. So on the 4 hour, things are looking okay for a short-term speculation. Let's go to the hour. Okay, the hour is showing sell signal. So no, right now it looks like we need to maintain support. Around here, or look for further breakdown. You can see that it's been support once, twice, 3 times. So we need this for it to hold. So this could be potentially a good entry right here for MATIC. Okay, if you get a bounce off that, that will mean you'll probably get a good return on MATIC comparative to Bitcoin. And if we can move back above this trend line and back into that upper range, then things will look pretty good too. Okay, they might look even better, but this is all dependent. There is a rumor that altcoins could bleed even further. There's a lot of people talking about altcoins bleeding even further. So if that does exist, it could be rough, where maybe a lot of the liquidity from the alts go into Bitcoin. So we'll just have to wait and see. Especially if we see this break down from this trend line, that means maybe liquidity is going to exit the alts, and then we'll start seeing Bitcoin go a little bit harder, because everyone sees that the money's backing Bitcoin right now. So the community and those investors are just going to follow where the money's flowing, and if the money's flowing into Bitcoin, everyone's going to go to Bitcoin. All right, let's go to .BTC next. So okay, this one's not looking great either. So this is the 1 hour. So let me bring up all the indicators. 1 hour doesn't look good. Looks like more further downside. 4 hour doesn't look great either. And daily looks horrible as well. So DOT definitely not going to be doing much against Bitcoin right here. What else can we look at? Let's go to AVAX. AVAX BTC. Alrighty, AVAX BTC. Not looking great, but at least the moving averages on the stochastic are turning. So this could be a bit of a sign for AVAX to get a bit of a move to the upside. It's looking promising. So definitely AVAX seems to be at 4 hour. 4 hour doesn't look good. So maybe we'll have another little swipe here. Let's see if we can look. It looks very similar to MATIC, except MATIC had a couple of touches. See, this one, it broke down from its 3 touches and is now bleeding more. So we had the support, we lost the support, couldn't get break back above it. Then we started going down. So that means over the last little bit, even though AVAX is up, if we look at AVAX, it's been up, everything's up at the moment, right? But it's not outdoing the performance of Bitcoin. So it's gone from 11 to 12, basically. It's had a 11% jump in the last, so that's the 21st. Oops. Okay, so it was at from the 21st. So that's just today only. But if we look at Bitcoin, where are we looking at Bitcoin for today? Yeah, it's gone from here to there. Yeah, see, AVAX outdid it just by a little bit. So there you go. AVAX could continue its run against Bitcoin. Atom, let's look at Atom against Bitcoin. BTC. Okay, so we got the 4-hour stochastic pointing up, the daily's pointing up, but it's kind of really struggling. So we might just hit the golden pocket here and see it bounce. So this could be another token to outperform Bitcoin. So we're at the golden pocket here. So if we can hold this price, which is 0.0003, so 3 zeros and a 3, we could get a bounce here from Atom, which would be good. So let's look at the Atom price. Let's look at the Atom price. Yeah, it's looking good on the daily, on the 8-hour. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, Atom looks like it's going to outperform BTC in the short term. Already had an okay bounce. Yeah, it's just entering its liquidity. So with Bitcoin having started its run, with Bitcoin now running into the golden pocket, we might see some alts. Move. So here we are. Bitcoin hit the golden pocket from the recent highs of 31K to the recent lows of 24,700. We've hit the GP, and now it's like, okay, do we have to have a bit of a pullback? Where do we pull back to? So let me just remove that, and let's go a fib. If this is as high as Bitcoin is going to go, we're looking at here. So we have a monthly point of control of 28,000. We have the golden pocket where we had a fair bit of trading here, sideways trading at 26,411. So we could even draw a fixed range profile from here to here. There we go. So look at that. The point of control lines up with the 618, which is at 26,400. So, Bitcoin would still be looking good coming down to there. And it's quite close to possible because the daily stochastic is pretty overextended here. So we need to have a bit of a breather. This could be the spot where we breathe back from. First, look for a bounce at 28,000 because round number, point of control of this entire sideways range. And then the value area low lines up with the golden pocket. So if we do get a pullback, this is going to be like a good spot for entry. So I think a lot of people will probably, support it if they're bullish with Bitcoin. An even more bullish scenario would be coming back just to the 236, which is in line with the point of control, bouncing from here and going up, or even the 382. If usually you draw a fib and you get a bounce off either of those, that means the move is quite powerful. And the thing is telling me on the weekly, we've just had the stochastic tick to the upside. So this Bitcoin move seems to be like it's going to be quite powerful. Okay, quite powerful to the upside. But do we have a slight pullback before that? Excuse me. Quite possibly. All right, let's continue. Let's try and find a couple more. Let's go link to BC. Those of you watching, feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. Weekly, I mean, the stochastic has been down here for quite some time now. So, we could draw an easy trend line right here from the top to the bottom, like there. Okay, we're being held down quite a bit. And if we want to draw a fib from these lows to these highs, yeah, we're well below fibs, but you could draw another one here. It's had a bit of a rough time. It is quite low. So did I even draw that right? No, I don't think I drew that right. No, I did draw it right. So yeah, we've gone past all the major fibs, so it is a bit concerning, but it could go down to the 0.85. I think it must be well past the 0.85, but there's just no support till about here. So, you know, it could be in a bit of a free fall right now till we get to about there. So Chainlink also not looking very flash, even though we're oversold on many things, and we'll probably get a bullish divergence here on the RSI and the market cipher. We're just in really deep heavy red here, so it doesn't look very good for Link against Bitcoin. Link's probably not going to be doing a whole lot against Bitcoin. All right, couple more. Let's go Uni versus BTC. Alrighty, 1 hour doesn't look good. There's no liquidity in this one, but it looks like you can see by the way the candles are shaped, the liquidity is quite low. So it's not something that people trade a lot. Yeah, also not looking good. Daily pointing down, weekly is pointing up, but yeah, if we're looking at short to medium term, the daily looks pretty bad. So therefore, Uni is not one that I'll be looking at. All right, let's go XMR, last one. XMR, BTC. Okay, so stochastic doesn't look very good, and market cipher's been like teetering here for quite some time. So daily doesn't look great. Still sell pressure. Weekly looking down, Monero no good because that's a short one. Let's go one more. Let's go XLM. Let's go Stellar. So we can see that this is why right now you want to be, majority of your holdings should be Bitcoin. Weekly, daily looking down, Stellar looking really bad, not going to outdo Bitcoin. So look at here, okay, 5.8 today, 1.5. Okay, so even if we go 24-hour, there's just a very small handful of Bitcoin Cash. Always pumps when Bitcoin does well. So this could be a token. Let's check it out. BCH, BTC. So this could be one that, you know, looks to outperform Bitcoin. So it's had a bit of a pump. This is a thing. People, you know, newbies mistaking Bitcoin Cash for real Bitcoin. So that's also a thing. Weekly stochastic pointing to the upside. Daily probably doing the same. Yep. 4 hour looking quite good as well. I mean, like, even though it's a little bit overextended, it'll probably have a bit of a pullback because nothing goes up in a straight line, but it's looking okay. It's looking like it'll probably continue against Bitcoin. We got Conflux, Stacks. Obviously, Stacks doing quite well, and Injective. So let's look at Stacks real quick. STX. So it had a great day, you know, 17%, pulling back a little bit now. But looks like, yeah, it's just starting its move against Bitcoin. So definitely one to have on file, because, yeah, it looks like it's definitely going to outperform Bitcoin in the short to medium term. So one of the few altcoins that you want to be holding alongside Bitcoin by the looks of it, not financial advice. Let's go. RNDR, probably one of the most best performing tokens this year. RNDR, BTC. Okay. So let's go weekly. Weekly, it's pointing down. Okay, so not great. 2-day pointing up, which is good. Daily pointing up as well. So it looks like Render, another token that could possibly be outdoing Bitcoin in the short to medium term, already over the last 24 hours outperforming Bitcoin by, you know, 10%, which is great. So definitely probably another token, especially if we break this resistance right here, we could you know, move another, how high was this? There to there, we're looking at 16%. You know, 16% could go all the way back up here, right? So it would be, yeah, it'd be quite a move against Bitcoin with what Bitcoin's doing at the moment. All right, guys, those are a few. So basically, change your settings to the 24 hours. Look at what's pumped in the last 24 hours in comparison to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gone up 8%. So anything that's done better than Bitcoin, it's probably a good idea to just look to see if it will continue its run against Bitcoin, and you can maybe transfer some funds to these other coins as well. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and catch you